Okay. Morning, everyone. Okay, let's get started. So, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Stacey Hanlon, and I'm a coach who helps women move past struggle, and I'm also a photographer. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to explore how to find your purpose. Okay. So, finding your purpose in life can single handedly be one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Okay. Now, I'm going to propose a question to you. Have you found your purpose in life? Just wait in the comments, see if anybody comments. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, so what is holding you back? What is holding you back from not being able to move forward, to be able to find your purpose in life, right? Because this is honestly it's a pretty important thing to know your own purpose, right? But honestly, I'd love to hear either way. So if you just want to drop that in the comments, that would be wonderful. So, but I will start by going on to say that once you have figured this out, you have a clear pathway, right, of your goals and most of your desires to have more in your life, right? But most of us probably haven't done this yet, and that's perfectly okay. Right? Honestly, it took me years to figure this out, more years than I honestly want to admit. It took me a very long time because often when we're reflecting on ourselves, right, we don't know how to see ourselves in that kind of capacity, right? It's difficult, right? So, but you'd be shocked and not really, but my purpose is for me to help other women to navigate their own life, to be able to move past struggles. I honestly think that's why I am here, because I struggled, as you guys already know very well, that I personally struggled throughout my own life, right? And that is what has brought me to become so passionate. Yes, I get passionate, I get a little emotional. Um, so passionate to be able to help other women to become their best version of of themselves, right? Um, I honestly, back in this time period, I didn't have a direction. I didn't know where to go. I was like, honestly, I was like living in a fog, and I just kind of drifted along from thing to thing. I didn't really have like any goals or anything of that nature, right? Sorry, I'm just checking my notes just to make sure. Yeah, I was just so lost and I wasn't sure of myself, and I lacked a lot of confidence. And I constantly needed reassurance from others around me, right? To make sure that maybe I was doing it right, or to if I knew all the knowledge, right? Like I didn't, there was so many different variables that I was not aware of, right? But honestly, now I do care. I live for me. I do what I want and I make my own decisions. Okay, I'll be totally transparent here. Some of those decisions are with my husband, right? But I empower and love those around me regardless how others treat me, right? So, but me not knowing my purpose, it stemmed from my past traumas, right? It was traumas from an abusive relationship, being bullied throughout my life, just all the different things, just stacking up one on top of the other, right? Until finally one day I honestly did break through, right, to learn these. So I have learned to empower each and every single one of these situations, right? So that is the interesting part about empowering others in situations. So once you do this, right? So once you break through and you figure out what is your purpose, and as you may have seen already or not, I did create a guide guiding homework for you to complete, which you may find a little difficult to do, and that's completely fine if it is. If you are struggling, honestly, ask somebody that you trust and you love for some assistance. Um, but once you do this and you slowly start to change your mindset, right? This Your situation will start changing and improving and your life will become better, but you'll also learn to forgive and to let go. Okay, sorry, just kind of went a little bit on a little tangent there, but that's okay. It's all relevant. So it's okay. So why do you not love yourself? Why do you not think that you're worthy? Right? Honestly, you need to go back to the beginning of your life, right? So, I mean, most of us know that all the things that we need to figure out to break through and to move past is something that happened in our childhood, right? So we need to uncover that in order to find out, not find out, but in order to move past and to be who we want to be, right? So I want you to think about it, right? I mean, I really want you to think and ponder it until you find your answer. And as I said, that homework that will be very beneficial and very helpful for you. And it is an important step and it can feel overwhelming and it should not be overlooked. And you must, honestly, you must face that head on. So, in order to move forward, you must not skip this step. Okay. So, I want you to feel that pain. Okay. I want you to sit in your darkness, which I know can be very, very, very difficult. So, if needed, I want you to, as I said, ask like a close friend or family to sit with you in silence. No talking, just reflecting in silence. This is honestly one of the most difficult things that you can do is sitting in silence with somebody. It is something, actually, my husband taught me how to do this. And then when I went back to school as well, I learned it there because it's one of the skills that we need to learn and we need to partake in. But sitting in silence, because what it is when you hear that silence, it is human nature to want to fill that void, right? To talk because it's awkward, right? It's awkward, it's uncommon. It's we have that innate feeling to fill it because of that awkwardness, right? So sorry, I'm hearing my husband outside my door. Just wondering if he was gonna peek in or not. I told everyone not to, but sometimes I do. That's okay. Um, so do you know that pain that I'm talking about, that actual physical pain that we feel deep inside us? All right, like, sorry, it's actually the emotional pain. I said that wrong. So, because physical is the pain that we feel outside, right? And then the physical pain is the pain that we're going to be feeling inside. But how often do you sit in your feelings, right? Because if you feel your feelings for 90 seconds, right, like you need to allow it for you to go through your body, right? That is important, right? Just don't, you could curl up in the ball on your bed, on your couch, even on the floor, right? Like wherever you want to be, right? Like just feel your feelings for that full 90 seconds, right? And then after that time period, sorry, just got a message here. Um, After that 90 seconds have gone past, you might not even want to reach for that ice cream, that bag of chips, the beverage, alcoholic beverage, the whatever your addictive, oh, what's the word? Addictive, oh, the word has escaped me. The addictive, oh my, your basically your vice, right? Whatever your vice is, right? You're not going to be as likely to go and grab it, right? Because you've sat in those feelings, you've absorbed them, you've loved yourself, right? So actually, I didn't mention what you should do is curl up into a ball. Actually, maybe I did mention this. Curl up into a ball, right? And just love yourself, hug yourself, right? Like just love on yourself, right? Because that's an important aspect, right? So I want you to feel that pain. I want you to allow it to sit there. I want you to embrace it. I want you to love it. And then I want you to let it go by releasing it, right? Because if you do go to food or any of those other vices that we already talked about, it's knowing that if you waited that 90 seconds, that it will pass, right? Hug yourself, self soothe yourself, listen wholeheartedly to yourself. So listen in, excuse me, listen, listen to yourself wholeheartedly, right? Feel that silence, right? You just want to have like that couple of moments to yourself to be able to embrace this, empower it, to be who you want to be, right? Because these are the things that you need to do in order to break through, right? Like it's kind of like fear, right? Like how I describe fear is, right? Like I think I talked about this last week or was the week before, but you kind of like bed up, right? You kind of come up to the wall, right? Oh, fear, fight, flight, back down, right? Because it's more comfortable over here than it is right here, right? But here's the thing, over here is where we want to be. This is where growth happens. This is where all the change happens. And yes, it's scary because we want to stay here or even over here, right? Where it's all comfortable and cozy and warm, right? Like you're cuddle up to a blanket or your significant other or whoever, right? Like or your children, right? But you got to listen to what you really need. You need to do what your body really is trying to tell you, right? Of course, within reason, right? I mean, we don't want to go too hog wire on that. But it's just, it's knowing that it'll pass, right? It's being able to allow yourself to sit in that moment, to enjoy it, and embrace it. Maybe enjoy is not quite the word, but you get where I'm going with that, right? Because you want to empower yourself. You want to be the best version of you, right? And once you've done this, right? Once you have self-soothed yourself, you can just get right back up. You won't feel that urge, or maybe not as much, to go grab that vice, that drink, the food, the um, what's any of those other vices, right? Like you won't feel the same need or the same drive, right, to be able to go and feel that. Okay. Now what I do recommend after you do this, especially the homework, is to practice in self-care. Okay. I want you to love yourself. I want you to embrace yourself. And I want you to know that, yes, you are important, right? It is very important for you to take care of yourself, for you to love yourself, to know that you're worthy enough, right? You are worth it, right? And that honestly, you deserve to be doing this, right? You deserve to feel loved, right? It's even going back to, again, one of the previous weeks that we were talking about. Oh gosh, I just lost my thought. Hang on. I completely lost my thought. Love when that happens. Um, Maybe it'll come back to me. Sorry about that, guys. If it comes back, even after the live comes back into my head, I will pop it into the comments for you. But this is honestly, it's going to be a start of a beautiful journey, right? Of finding your purpose in life, finding out who you are. It took me a very long time, as I said, to find out why I behave the way that I do, right? Which actually has been my guiding question throughout my courses at school, right? As an adult in the last like Oh my gosh, almost 10 years, right? Why do humans behave the way they do? Right? It's an interesting question. And it's a very interesting answer as well, right? It's knowing and it's understanding. It's because A plus B equals C, right? Or A plus A, right? Like that sort of stuff, right? Like there is common denominators, there's common knowledge, right? And it's just breaking it all down and knowing that you're worth it. So we need to get your mindset to where it needs to be, right? I wasn't I totally off topic in a sense, right? But I will be dropping an offer in very shortly for you guys as well. That is going to be all about mindset, which you may or may not have already seen. Um, so just keep an eye out for that. It's going to be so amazing. It's one of my best courses. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I again, I as you guys already know, I'm an emotional person, and that's okay. I embrace who I am. I embrace and love myself wholeheartedly. It's knowing that about myself, right? And it's knowing that why I behave the way that I do, right? I think this is maybe where I was starting to go earlier. It's knowing my why I behave or react and do the things that I do, right? It's knowing all those things. It's and the same goes for yourself, right? Like you need to understand yourself so that you can love yourself more, right? Or love yourself at any point, right? Because you want to embrace that. It's powerful, right? It's life changing when you're able to do that sort of stuff, right? So you need to start on that whole beautiful journey to be able to find your purpose in life, okay? And I can help you navigate through that. You don't need to do it alone, okay? So it's knowing that there are people here for you. Even if you do feel alone, you're not alone. I am here. I am trained. I've gone through it, right? Like I am very happy to assist you and to guide you through that process. And you will be so thankful once you are on that other side. Like, honestly, I change women's lives, right? Like, actually, this is a fun story. So one time I had this woman come in. She was going to be doing a beauty shoot. And we just happened, there was also something, I can't remember exactly, but there's something because she showed up and we couldn't do our shoot that day, which this does not happen very often at all. I can't remember what it was. This was a while ago, a good couple of years ago. Um, so she came in and we were talking and we were going through her outfits because I was able to bring her in the next day to have the shoot. And we're talking about having a boudoir shoot. She's like, oh, I can't remember exactly, but I'm just going to kind of like, um, um, oh my goodness, I can't think of words there either. I'm going to kind of not speculate, but give you the main gist of what she said. She's like, oh, I can't do that, right? No, but I could tell that she really wanted to do it, right? Because you know how you can sort of tell when somebody wants to do something, but there's like a lot of things that are holding them back. So that whole fear story, right? Like the whole wall, the fight, flight, right? And then all the beautiful things on the other side and the growth and all that. That's exactly what we did, right? I was able to not talk her into, because I would never want to talk a client into doing something that they're not comfortable or not fully comfortable with, right? Because you want to feel a little bit of uncomfortableness. I might have just created my own word. Right? You want to make sure that you're not not holding your boundary, but like to be able to help them to overcome whatever it is that's holding them back, right? Because maybe they're not thinking that they're worthy. Maybe they're not thinking that they're pretty enough. Maybe that they're not worthy enough, right? Like there's so many different things that can go on inside our heads and that we're not aware of, right? Or um to not think that we're worthy enough to do anything like this, right? Like we need to be able to change that mentality. We need to be able to break through and break down that wall, right? Because that's what it's all about is breaking down that wall, doing the things that you want to do because there's a drive there, right? So again, that would be your goal, right? Figure out what your goal is, right? So that's what this woman's goal was, um, to be able to do that. And she did. And she did so amazing. And she just came so alive during the shoot, right? Like it was amazing. Loved it. She just so transpired and she became, I could just see the transformation within her. And that's why I do this work, right? Because I want to be able to see and feel that transformation within you. Actually, I just got goosebumps. Um, right, like that's why I'm here. That is my sole purpose, right? Sorry, getting emotional again, as you can see. um but if I can help you and guide you to find your purpose, then I have done my life's work. That's what I'm here for, right? Okay, so that concludes our content. Does anybody have any questions? I'll just wait a moment, see if there's any questions that pop up. Okay. Don't think I see anything, and I don't know if there's a leg or not. But if there is any questions or anything, just drop them in the comments and I can pop in later and answer some of them for you. Okay. But I wanted to thank you all for tuning in to learn all about finding your purpose. And as I mentioned, I've added your homework that goes along with today's topic already in today's guide, which I believe we're on guide 3, and for you to work through. And you, as I said, you may need to find somebody to help you, to guide you through that, to talk through some of the answers for you. And that's perfectly okay because sometimes we cannot see what is right in front of us, right? We can't see how powerful we are, right? Because we each are powerful. We each have our own gifts, our own purpose, right, for being here to walk through life, right? And knowing what our goals are and how to achieve them. That is what it's all about, right? So if you're watching this as a replay, hashtag replay in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for tuning in.